BNB is on its way down. We have the strong indication that we've been waiting for to show that the probability of it going below $180, as we said 3-4 days ago, is more than likely to occur. So now it's all about shorting opportunities. The trend is your friend. Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. And the trend is down for the next 3 to 5 days before a potential massive trend reversal. So if you like today's content, that's going to be the focus. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. My name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro, featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on crypto. By the way, we're going to cover Elliott waves. That's the foundation of everything that I do. If you like it, you can take my free Elliott Wave Masterclass, which is in the link below, which will show you the method behind the madness. How we get it more right than wrong is because of Elliott waves, and you want to know this because it allows you to read the markets like a pro. So let's dive into BNB. All right, so this is the video that I did in, when was it? It was on the 26th of June. So it was 3 days ago, right? Emergency Binance coin update. We are likely to see BNB fall below $180 in the coming days. And what we said in this video, and it's worthwhile going back to watch it, because we can't make money in hindsight, so we need to be 2 steps ahead of the market, and the crowd is normally 2 steps behind. We said wave 2s and wave 4s are cousins or related. They are similar to each other, and it looked like a nice A, B, C correction, and we should anticipate a movement to the downside. Momentum is down, right? That's what we said. And then in the same video, I'm trying to kind of give a nice feel for it. This is the same video. We'll see it's the same one down here. We said because of this particular chart pattern, it's my absolute favorite chart pattern, A, B, C zigzags, right? They're very easy to predict, and we've got a few key indicators. We're going to jump into a live chart in a second, but we said this is the ratio that we anticipate, $160, below that, this is the $180 mark, and we're anticipating BNB will go into this range. And now we've got the strong indication in terms of momentum and pattern as well. They're two very strong things. And by the way, if you want to learn how to do what we're going to cover today, again, it's in my Elliott and Fibonacci Masterclass. It will take you to a whole new level. Trust me, it's the best thing that you ever do, and it's free. It's free. It's a whole masterclass on Elliott waves and the Fibonacci ratios. So now let's dive into a live chart. So what do we have? Well, first of all, we've got our momentum, right? Momentum is such a big clue. What this does, there's around 1,000 different momentum indicators, by the way, but they all do the same thing. They measure rate of change, and they tend to marry up quite nicely with the highs and the lows, and they give you valuable information. So a couple of days ago, I think it was yesterday? 2 days ago, we got the bearish reversal. Bearish reversal meaning blue line below the red, and that gives us a strong indication, especially when it coincides with pattern, that we're going to see sideways to down. So that's a big clue for us, big clue. Now remember, we're just aiming to be the casino. That's it. We want a nice edge and then trade that edge. We've got this beautiful, just textbook, what looks like A, B, C. We've had this price low being taken out with the bars. So you can see some bars going to the downside. And there was a key thing that I said in one of the videos. It was in that same video. I said this closing range, you can even go to a line chart to see the closing range of this over here. This, it's called an overlap. And when price overlaps into that range, and literally as of today, you can see this is now overlapping into that range. That's a really strong indication that this high over here will hold and a new low will be made, right? So that gives us confidence to go, right, we want to short the market. We want to make money on the way down. You can do that by doing something called futures trading. And if you're in my private community, I teach you how to do that. I've got a few different courses that show you how to short the market. Basically means make money whilst the market's going down. So what do we do with this? Well, we've done something quite special already, which is the external retracement, right? So I spoke about the external retracement in that last video, and I said we measure wave 4. We did make that extra high that we was anticipating. We measure wave 4, and we do something called an external retracement, and it gives us these two numbers down here, this, and this. Why are these so valuable? It's the direct relationship, because remember, right, the best piece of advice I can give you is to ignore the daily news. I'm trying to get rid of this blue arrow. Ignore the daily news. The news has nothing to do with price. It's all psychology baked into the price. We're talking about fear. We're talking about greed. We're talking about millions and thousands of participants that are betting on the price. And human nature, there's an inherent behavior mechanism. It's called crowd psychology. So we can ignore the noise and just look at the pure price action and meditate on this and go, right, what is this telling us? Well, and the studies have been done. The studies have been done for hundreds of years that wave 4 and wave 5, and what we're deeming to be wave 5, have a direct relationship. And the relationship is most wave 5s will go into the 1.272, which is basically $164, to 1.618, which is $142 range when this type of pattern occurs. Right? And remember, if you haven't been, because I did a whole 31 days on Follow Me Day by Day on BNB, and we literally pegged this, and it's unfolding just textbook. Right? We pegged this just so nicely. We were waiting for this. We started doing the Follow Me on BNB up here. We shorted the market over here. We shorted the market over here. We made some good profits on the way down. And we weren't sure if this was the end of the trend. But as it's unfolded as the ABC, it's like, okay, the market is talking to us. The psychology is revealing itself. And it's like, okay, we should anticipate now one more move to the downside. So that's what we're saying over here. Right? And really, we want to allow the momentum. This is where the momentum can be such a powerful tool. Allow it to get below this black line, and when it goes below here, it's oversold, and then we should be getting ready to exit our positions, take profits, and so on and so forth. But we're talking about 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 days away before that occurs. So what can we do over here? What should we anticipate? Well, there's a couple of things. So let me just zoom in a bit more. Again, I just want to really emphasize a few points. We're going to focus on the pattern over here. All right, the first thing I want to emphasize is we got this strong indication that the price is below this closing range of this overlap, right? So it's called an overlap. What is the next strong signal that the market's going to probably just tank, like literally tank, like just massive sell-off? It's actually this wave B low. This is actually the confirmation. This is the indication. And this is the confirmation that this wave C is likely, very likely, highly probable to hold. So we're going to be aware of this, very aware of this, because we're only probably a day away from this. And we're probably going to see if it does break, and it is an if, high probability if it does break below here, we're probably going to see a sharp decline towards the next zone over here. And then we'll probably break that and then to finally kind of break it off. So I'm just going to drop down to a hourly time frame. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to highlight this actually. I'm just going to highlight this area because I'm going to drop down to an hourly time frame. And I just want to make sure this is going to show, because the great thing about TradingView is you can say, I want this box to show on the hourly chart, not the weekly chart, and on the daily chart. So now when I pop out of this chart, in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see this green box. Well, this green box, just so we're on the same page, down here on the hourly chart, which is what we're going to zoom into, is the same as this green box up here on the daily chart. On the hourly chart, there's 24 bars for every 1 bar on the daily chart, right? Because it's 24 hours in a day. So just so we're on the same page. So now I'm going to dive into this hourly chart, just to break this down for us. What we are anticipating, what I'm anticipating, is the following. I'm just going to zoom in like this a little bit more, just so we get it a bit clearer. We've got the initial impulsive move down. It's been the biggest impulsive move down since like 2 weeks, right? That's called an overbalancing price. That's a massive clue. We've closed or we broke into this range, which is a strong indication that this high is going to hold. If we break below this low over here, that's a confirmation. This is a signal or an indication. This is a confirmation that this is likely to hold. And I'm using the word likely because we're doing probabilities, never certainties. And what we should anticipate is a 5-wave move to the downside. What we really want to be in the market for is this move. Right? It's called wave 3s. Wave 3s on the downside tend to be just beautiful. And there's normally a point in the middle over here where it just aggressively goes down. And that's where you make most of your profits. So we make some good profits on here. We'll wait for a pullback of some sort that may occur, and then we'll look to ride this trend down. We'll wait for another pullback, and then we'll ride it down, and then we're looking for a trend reversal for a major, probably a really big bull run for BNB over the coming months. So anything else that I want to cover here? No. Now we're just looking for shorting opportunities. We want to use the momentum, but it's just unfolding in a textbook fashion. I just want to finish with one last thing. Is this? I want to show you this. I want to emphasize something to you. The power of Elliott waves. That is by far, if you know how to do this, it just takes your trading to the next level. In the yellow or orange, you can see a 5-wave sequence, right? This is the last part of this major correction, a 5-wave sequence. But then that itself, on the last part of this over here, tends to also break down to 5 waves. And we can see that over here. I've drawn it here. And then this last part, right? This last part over here also tends to break down to 5 waves. And that's what we're talking about. It was a thing that Ralph Nelson Elliott figured out. In human nature, these patterns tend to unfold in 5s and 3s. And he just tested it. Does it apply to the markets? And that's how we can really get a massive edge. And it looks like we can see it's all coinciding to this point over here. And this will be a major high probability trend reversal where we will anticipate this to take off. But right now, that's not where the money is. Right now, the money is, in terms of the opportunity, is shorting the market on this last part, where this all coincides as a strong end of a trend, but the trend is your friend, ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. This is what we're talking about. So if you want to take your trading to the next level and join my private community, take my free Elliott Wave Masterclass, because it'll take your thinking to the next level, where you can literally ignore the news, literally like this. This is what you want to be doing. Ignore the news, and you can just watch the price action, and it tells you everything you need to know. And the probability of your success just goes through the roof. So if you like today's content, we covered a lot of detail today, but these are the moments that we're waiting for, and we want to leverage these opportunities and make some serious money, make some serious profit with high probability, with acceptable capital exposure, trade with confidence, without hesitation or reservation, but without being reckless. In other words, we use a stop loss to protect ourselves if we're wrong. So we know we're risking 2% or 3% or 1% to make some significant gains, but if we're wrong and we get stopped out, our capital exposure is limited. All right, let's finish on a quote. I'm going to go with chapter 5. It's one of my favorites. And, they say repetition is the mother of all skill. But we're going to repeat this until it ingrains in our minds so we can really, really drive it home and use this. Because sometimes people think to make money, you need 1,000 different indicators. You need moving averages. You need cup and handle patterns and this pattern and MACD and then volume and this, that. I go, look, if you can understand what I'm about to tell you in the next 15 seconds, you'll get better results. By the way, that's what R15 stands for, results in 15 minutes, because we want to simplify things. So it's Leonardo da Vinci. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In other words, less is more. What's the 20% that's going to give you the 80% of your results? We're talking about momentum. We saw the power of that. Stochastics RSI is my favorite, but there's others available, whether it's RSI, whether it's MACD, whether it's Bollinger Bands, there's a whole load of them. My favorite is Stochastics RSI. We've got momentum. Pattern. There's all these different kind of patterns. I go just Elliott waves, 5s and 3s. If you can count to 5 and you can do your ABC to ABC, you don't need to go really beyond that. You can do Elliott waves on multiple degrees. And we saw 3 degrees of counts. Fibonacci ratios applying human nature, and psychology is human nature, is the crowd psychology. We're measuring crowd psychology on how it typically unfolds in the relationship between a wave 4 correction and a wave 5 impulsive wave. And we did something called an external retracement. So that's 3 things. And then last but not least, we can also add in Fibonacci time, which can give us a big clue on the end of a trend, the end of a correction, and so on and so forth. So that's it. 4 things: momentum, pattern, price, and time. And if you want to take your trading to the next level, we'll take my Elliott Wave and Fibonacci Masterclass, which covers the pattern and the Fibonacci price, the 2 it's like the bedrock of everything that I do. That will give you a massive edge on the market. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We'll keep a close eye on BNB. It might be worthwhile watching the 31-day follow me series that I did, because we just pegged it, and we'll see, we just literally updated it every single day for 31 days straight. Nothing else but BNB. And we're seeing that we're now in the tail end of highly probable one more move to the downside. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see if we can make some serious profits, but with acceptable capital exposure. All right, I'll see you very, very soon for your next workout. I say next workout because we just launched something called the R15 Crypto Gym, and it's taken off like you wouldn't believe. And I'm going to tell you more about that in the coming days and weeks.